What is up YouTube? Yudin Aloha here coming at you with another one of my book review videos. So recently I read a novel, something that I do not usually do because I thought, hey, come on, everybody's recently like reading all the self-improvement non-fiction books, by Jordan Peterson and all the motivational speakers. But hey, let's take a step back from the busy hustle and bustle of everyday life and take time to appreciate a good story. Okay, let's take time to enjoy a non-fiction book, and that's what I did. I went to Bugis Junction, Kinokuniya, and bought a book by Sharlene Teo, PONTI, which stands for Pontianak, and the Malay word for ghost. Yeah, so Bugis Junction, Kinokuniya, it's been ages since I've been there. The place is disgusting with all the Xiao Mei Mei and the Xiao Di Di, all the YPs. But still, they are disgusting, but it's cute at the same time. So I went there, and I wanted to support some local writers. That's what I usually do, right? Support local, and that's what I bought this book. I enjoyed it immensely, so much so that as a professional graphic designer myself, I actually redesigned the book cover as a tribute to the book, and here how it looks like. So Ponti is a book about ghosts, right? All three main characters, Amisa, Sue, Cici, they have references to ghosts in their lives, right? Ghosts that we can't move on from, childhood trauma that is just like a leech on our skin, right? We can't get through it. We need to we need to face it head on, take it out, then we can move on with life. That's what the story is about. At least that's my interpretation. Okay, wait. Actually, I need to give a disclaimer. Okay, look at me. I'm from a neighborhood school. I don't even take literature in my secondary school days. I don't even go to JC. Okay, this is just my layman's interpretation of a novel. Okay, the last novel I read was, I don't know. I don't even recall it. The only literature textbooks that I read was like To Kill a Mockingbird, The Catcher in the Rye. But these books, due to my like I said, I don't take literature lessons in class, so I don't even know if I'm really reading the book, what the author is trying to convey. Yeah, so anyway, I read this book, I enjoyed immensely. Here's the book cover. The background I decided to make a shadowy to make it give it a bit of eerie feel, and then the frame, right? The frame is like those kind of ghost movie kind of frame that which, if you are like scared, you don't dare look at the mirror. And then the book, the background. Okay, so Misa husband, Sue's father, right, won the lottery and bought a house. The landed property is not well kept at all, so there's a lot of greenery. And then the main character, Amisa, right, she died of lung cancer, so there's like a ghost there, right? She acted as a ghost in the movie called Ponti, which I think, yeah, that's how I think the book title came about lah. So yeah, so the girl is there, she died, a bit unfortunate. The three main characters, right, they all have very sad stories. Okay, the mother, Amisa, died of lung cancer. The daughter, Sue, her mother passed away, her father ran away when she was young. The what do you call that, her classmate, Sue classmate, Cici had was unfortunate also. She was going through a tough divorce, problems at work. The character that I like most was actually Cici, because she works as a social media consultant, which is somewhat similar to the industry that I'm in, digital marketing. And the way that I don't know, is it just me, but the writing styles for each character is very different. Okay, so what other way to illustrate this other than some reading, right? Live reading. Okay, so I refer to page 49. Okay, this is Cici. Okay, I like Cici, but Sue style is a bit abstract. Okay, so Cici, ever since my divorce, I sleep better, 7 solid hours every night, right until my alarm goes off. I remember my dreams better too. Lately, I've had dreams about auditions and choir practice, sincerely hoping to be a professional singer, unaware of how discordantly my life would unfold. The next character is Sue in 2020. Okay, I glaze over at the newscaster magenta lipstick and sleep deprived face and ponder the message. Elizabeth tussles my arm and I smile at her. I was holding her hand when I ran into Leslie at Railway Mall the other day. Elizabeth and I were on our way to buy cornflour and onions. Leslie, my first crush. I was surprised by how much he changed when really isn't that how time works. See that trap up? He looks like a grown old man when I couldn't help but paste the ghost of his 18-year-old self over his features. Yeah, actually, honestly, it sounds a bit same, but I don't know, when I read the whole book, I feel like different characters have different writing styles, and that's why I think CC appealed to me more. It's the writing style is more easily comprehensible one, other than the fact that she was in a social media consultancy firm. Other than that, I feel like this book, the structure is very artistically written. You know how all the artistic movies, they have like one character in a time point, then fast forward another character 30 years later in another time point, another character fast forward 40 years in another time point, and how all these characters' lives converge and converge to create a story. And that's how this book is written. Amisa 1978 in her wet market fish stall, Sue in her secondary school, Sue SZU, and then CC in 2020 undergoing through her divorce and her problems at work. So yeah, and I feel like compared to other local writers like Sebastian Sim, Scarlett Harlot, all these writers, they trying to I feel like they use a lot of flamboyant vocabulary, right? Words that what is this word? I need to go and search it up in the dictionary. But Sharlene Teo, she ain't trying to show it, man. She got it, and she doesn't need to show it because she's confident, right? She's confident. So yeah, this book is, I would say, a slow read due to the fact of its structure. Not so much of the vocabulary, more of the structure. Okay, look, I gotta keep this short because nowadays nobody watches like book review videos, YouTube videos. It's all the short form TikTok trashy videos. Okay, so this is it. Let me know, recommend me some books. Okay, I'm on a reading spree lately. Okay, I'm into reading lately. Recommend me books. Maybe I'll give a thought about it and review. Okay, stay care. That's all, man. Take care, stay safe, and have a good evening. Okay.